Why have over 600 dogs jumped from the exact same spot on a bridge in Scotland since 1960? That is the question. And by the end of this episode, you will have the closest answer science has been able to produce, along with the part of this mystery that science has still not fully resolved. This is the story of the most disturbing unsolved animal mystery in recorded history. This is the hidden history of Overtoun Bridge. Overtoun Bridge was built in 1895 on the grounds of Overtoun Estate, near the village of Milton in Dumbarton, West Scotland. It is a stone arch bridge, approximately 15 metres, 50 feet, above the gorge of the Overtoun burn below. It is a beautiful structure, grey Scottish stone, solid, arched, the kind of bridge that looks like it belongs in a painting. For the first 60 years of its existence, nothing unusual happened on Overtoun Bridge. Then, sometime around 1960, the dogs started jumping. The first documented cases were isolated incidents that owners assumed were accidents. A dog would approach the bridge on a walk, reach a specific section of the right-hand parapet. Always the right-hand side, always between the last two parapets at the bridge's end. And without warning, leap over the edge into the gorge 15 metres below onto the rocks of the Overtoun burn. In the early years, it was easy to dismiss. An excited dog, a loss of footing, a freak accident. Then it kept happening, month after month, year after year. The same side of the bridge, the same section of parapet, the same breeds, the same weather conditions, the same outcome. By the 1970s, local residents in Dumbarton had begun to notice the pattern. By the 1980s, dog owners were warning each other. By the 1990s, the bridge had acquired a name nobody wanted it to have. The Dog Suicide Bridge. The Scottish Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals sent representatives to investigate the site. They examined the bridge, interviewed witnesses, and observed dog behaviour in the area. Their conclusion was the most uncomfortable conclusion any official investigation can reach. They were completely stumped. The Scottish SPCA could not identify a cause. Their investigation was inconclusive and eventually closed. The pattern continued regardless. Always the right-hand parapet, always the same section between the last two stones. Always in dry, clear weather, researchers who tracked the incidents noted that jumps almost never occurred in rain or fog, only on clear days with good visibility, predominantly long-nosed breeds. Labradors, golden retrievers, border collies. Dogs with a scent detection ability between 10,000 and 100, 0 times more powerful than a human being. And most disturbingly, survivors. Multiple confirmed accounts exist of dogs that survived the 15-metre fall onto the rocks below, were carried back up to the bridge by their shaken owners, and immediately attempted to jump again from the same spot. Not in a different location, not toward a different stimulus, the exact same section of the exact same parapet. Again. By 2006, the total number of confirmed incidents had climbed toward 300. By 2025, researchers tracking the phenomenon estimated the total had exceeded 600 individual incidents at the same location over 65 years. 600 dogs, one bridge, one spot, 65 years. By the way, if you've made it this far, you're clearly someone who finds the hidden side of history fascinating. If you want more stories like this, hit subscribe. New episode every week. Back to Overtoun Bridge. The first serious scientific investigation was conducted in 2006 by Dr. David Sands, a professional animal behaviourist commissioned by the Daily Mirror newspaper to examine the site systematically. Sands spent significant time at the bridge, observing dog behaviour and conducting a structured analysis of the physical and environmental conditions at the jump location. Dr. Sands began by eliminating the explanations that had circulated in tabloid coverage. Dogs do not form abstract intentions to end their lives. Canine psychology does not support the concept of deliberate self-destruction. Whatever was happening on Overtoun Bridge was not suicide in any meaningful sense. Something was pulling these dogs over the parapet. Something specific enough to produce 65 years of incidents at the same 2-meter section of railing. His investigation produced a hypothesis that has since become the scientific consensus on the Overtoun Bridge. American mink, introduced to Scotland in the 1950s as part of fur farming operations. Multiple animals escaped captivity during that decade and established wild populations in Scottish waterways. The Overtoun Burn, the stream running through the gorge directly below Overtoun Bridge, became home to a significant population of American mink, along with otters, mice, and squirrels, nesting in the dense rhododendron undergrowth on the gorge walls. The timing is not coincidental. Mink were established in the Overtoun Burn in the 1950s. The first documented dog jumps began around 1960. The two events align precisely. Mink produce an extraordinarily potent scent. Their anal glands release a musk compound that is among the most detectable animal scents known, powerful enough to be identified by a trained dog from hundreds of meters away. In the dense rhododendron undergrowth directly below the bridge's right-hand parapet, mink, otter, and mouse nesting creates a concentrated cocktail of animal scent that, on dry, clear days when scent rises most effectively, reaches bridge level at the exact section of parapet where every confirmed jump has occurred. Dr. Sands tested this hypothesis directly. He dragged scent samples from mink, otter, and mouse along the bridge surface and recorded dog responses. The results were consistent. Dogs showed dramatically heightened interest, specifically at the right-hand parapet section, the jump zone, where the scent concentration was highest. In a separate controlled experiment, 7 out of 10 dogs exposed to canisters containing mouse, squirrel, and mink scent, many of them, quite dramatically, in the words of the researchers, moved directly toward the mink scent. In a subsequent investigation, conducted by the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, examination of the bridge structure confirmed the presence of mink, mouse, and squirrel nests specifically in the stonework on the right-hand side of the gorge, directly below the jump zone, not distributed evenly across the bridge, concentrated specifically at the section where 65 years of incidents have occurred. The scent hypothesis also explains the breed pattern. Long-nosed breeds, Labradors, Golden Retrievers, Border Collies, are the dogs most frequently involved in Overtoun Bridge incidents. These are precisely the breeds with the most highly developed olfactory systems. A Labrador Retriever has approximately 300 million scent receptors, as compared to a human's 6 million. For a dog with that level of scent sensitivity, the concentrated mink scent rising from the gorge below is not a faint signal. It is overwhelming. It explains the weather correlation. Dry, clear conditions allow scent to rise most effectively from the gorge. Rain and fog suppress scent travel and reduce the signal at bridge level, which is precisely why almost every confirmed incident occurs in dry weather. And Dr. Sands identified one more critical factor. The bridge parapet is solid stone, approximately 1 meter high. A dog approaching the right-hand railing on the bridge has its nose at parapet height, close enough to the stone surface to detect the scent rising from below. But its eyes are below parapet height. The dog cannot see over the parapet. It cannot see the 15-meter drop. From the dog's perspective, the overwhelming scent of prey animals is coming from somewhere directly ahead, somewhere obscured by a solid wall. The dog does not understand the drop. It understands only the scent. It jumps toward the prey signal. The bridge does not warn it what is on the other side. The scent hypothesis is the strongest explanation available for the Overtoun Bridge phenomenon. It is supported by the breed pattern, the weather pattern, the location pattern, the timing of the mink introduction in the 1950s, and 2 separate physical investigations confirming mink nesting specifically below the jump zone. But it does not fully explain everything. The re-jump behavior remains the most difficult element to account for. A dog that has survived a 15-meter fall onto rocks has experienced significant physical trauma. The instinct to avoid the source of that trauma should be powerful. approach behaviour toward the same stimulus should be suppressed. And yet, multiple confirmed cases exist of dogs making immediate second attempts at the same spot on the same visit. The mink scent hypothesis suggests the olfactory signal is simply too powerful, that it overrides the dog's trauma response and reinstates the being approach behavior the moment the dog is back within scent range of the parapet. But this explanation has not been tested in controlled conditions. It is inference, not evidence. Overtoun Bridge has been the subject of ongoing observations since the Scottish SPCA's initial inconclusive investigation, Dr. Sand's 2006 scent study, and the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds structural survey. Warning signs were posted at both ends of the bridge following the Sands investigation. They remain there today. The mink are still in the gorge below Overtoun Bridge. The rhododendron is still dense on the gorge walls. The scent is still rising on dry, clear days, and the incidents have not stopped. Over 600 confirmed cases, the same 2-meter section of the same right-hand parapet, the same breeds, the same weather, 65 years, and counting. Science has produced the most credible explanation available. It has not produced a complete one. Some places accumulate a history that no single explanation fully accounts for. Overtoun Bridge is one of them. Look around. History is everywhere. As always, see you in the past.